I'm joined from Sydney by Jonathan Barratt. He's Managing Director of Commodity Broking Services. Thank you so much for speaking to us. So, a change of leadership in Australia. How is Kevin Rudd's resignation likely to impact on the mining industry there?
Oh, Maryam, look, they say 24 hours in politics is a long time. They weren't kidding. Look, it's been, as you know, quite a dramatic day, but it is interesting to see how the mining sector has performed. Those stocks which were hit the hardest, your Rios and your BHPs, clawed back some gains, but those stocks which were under takeover, stocks like MacArthur Coal, for instance, they've had terrific gains up to close to 5.6%. Some of the other stocks are quite positive as well on the news, those domestic producers as well. So if anything, I think a little bit of a mixed outcome, but generally quite positive for the whole sector.
It's interesting because if we do look a little bit more at how the mining company's been performing here in London, Rio Tinto, BHP Billiton, we were looking at them there. They've seen some losses, this despite strong gains for miners earlier on the Sydney Stock Exchange. Why the discrepancy there, do you think?
Look, I just think it's more of a reaction to what happened on the Dow last night, because when we came down this morning, when we looked at the market, we were expecting a relatively negative day, but as it turned out, the market was quite strong to start with. These stocks was quite strong. The comments that Gillard mentioned during the first press release were quite positive, to say that we're coming together with the mining sector. In fact, the miners actually also agreed to stop their advertising campaigns as well. But what we did see is that later in Parliament, she actually turned around and said, OK, we're open to more negotiation. So we got a sense that perhaps she wasn't, she's not going to back down as much as what we first thought. And in fact, she wants more negotiation to occur.
How difficult do you think is it going to be to resolve this? Because, as you say, it doesn't look at this point as though that 40% super tax on mining companies is necessarily going to be scrapped.
Well, I don't think it is,